my whole thing was, is this going to work or not, was to look and see what trends are occurring in the U.S. and see if those would happen in Japan. The one good thing about Japan is, normally speaking, you don't need a crystal ball to figure out the future. You kind of look at a lot of the trends, not all of them, but happen in the U.S. first, and then eventually they happen in Japan. So I thought, well, there is kind of a lifestyle change here, but this, not liking pizza might be an issue. So I realized that we had to kind of change the profile of the cheese taste to be a little bit more buttery. And because my sister had been selling pizza, she had kind of adjusted for the taste of the Japanese. So I had some idea, but then I had to kind of go beyond that. And I thought, well, I should come up with toppings the Japanese could understand, like squid or teriyaki chicken or eggplant. And I remember when I proposed that to Domino's, I said, "No, Ernie, you're crazy. You
can't make a pizza that way."
Yeah, and what is that's not a pizza. Yeah,
but it's not a pizza. Right?
There's got to be pepperoni, Italian sauce. Actually, Domino's had 12 toppings.
Period.
Period, and one drink. So this is why we're successful. We keep it simple. No squid. No shrimp. No teriyaki chicken. None of that stuff. That's why you're franchising from us. Yeah, but. In Japan's different, they don't like pizza. We got to come with something that they're familiar with, and kind of ease them into eating pizza. Like these big companies are doing it, they're not so successful. Anyway, with the franchising business, that becomes an issue. Although I'm joking about it, actually they're very strict on maintaining standards and keeping everything consistent. But I said, you have to think global and act local. And I'll tell you. The other chains are doing the same thing as the U.S., and I think that's part of the reason why they're not so successful. And so we've got to localize this thing. And that was actually a big issue. But I said, we just have to do this. And the other thing that was an issue is, I said, everyone delivered. Demai is a traditional thing. So then my other strategy was, if I did bring Domino's to Japan, how do I differentiate ourselves from the Demai concept? And Japan, service is second to none in the restaurant business, and it's very competitive. But in the Demai segment, that's the one segment where, they say, "Okyakusama kami-sama," the customer is God here. But the one segment where they're not God is the Demai segment.
So Demai means what?
They delivery.
Delivery. Demai.
So, yes. Demai. Yeah. So if you order a bowl of noodles, most Demai stores, what it is they have a customers come to the restaurant,
right.
And they also do delivery, kind of like on the side. Right. So the customers get first priority, the guys that are in the restaurant, because if you're slow or whatever, they yell and scream at you. So you give them the priority. So the guy that asks for delivery or demai is already a second-class citizen in terms of customer, because they're far away. So sometimes you ask for it, could be an hour. Then you call up and they say we just left or whatever. It gets there cold. But then the customer got used to the fact that because it's delivery, it's going to be late, it's going to be not the best, and so on. So this was the one segment of the restaurant industry which was really, in a way, underserved. The whole thing about Domino's was that they guaranteed 30-minute delivery.
At the beginning,
yeah, and it's hot, right? And so, and the thing is, you can't have it right out of the oven. It's too hot, actually. You burn your tongue. So the whole point was, by the time you deliver, it was the right temperature. And what most people don't realize is how we developed the delivery era is that everything's done by time. From the time you took the order by phone, you made the pizza in 2 minutes, then it was a 6-minute oven time, so it was 8 minutes. Then it would leave the store around 10 minutes to 12 minutes. And our delivery era is defined by a time zone, actually. So at the busiest time, the furthest place you could deliver was within 7 minutes. So you still had time for 30 minutes. So the point is that, it's quite hot by the time you deliver, because we're looking actually at, 7 to 9 minute kind of delivery times after pizza's made out of the oven. And so that's one of the things which, of course, I kept from the U.S. I didn't change everything. So there's, part of the reason why Domino's is so successful, they had this great operations, great kind of system, and I maintained that in Japan. The reverse, actually, for my people, is a 30-minute delivery. it's not like the U.S. You know, there are no street names. You don't know where you are. You get lost. And how can we maintain 30 minutes? No GPS.
That's right.
But you see, the thing about think global and act local was important to know why was it so important, why was it so successful in the U.S. that you should not adapt for Japan? And then what do you have to adapt for Japan? You have to understand both. It's not just adapting completely for Japan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the phrase think global, act local existed, but my own take on that, but don't go too native. Because don't go too native. You can over-adapt, or you can adapt the wrong things.
Right. And then you impede your growth.
And then there's no point in tying up with a U.S. company in that case, right? You can just your own original concept.
Right.
And there's a reason why Domino's was so successful. You know, it has to do with systems, it has to do with concepts, it has to do with a lot of things. But where you localize actually is where you touch the consumer. That's in product development or in marketing and so on. You know, that is a distinction. But you can overdo it. So I didn't want to change the systems they operate. That's why they're successful. That's why I paid them royalty. So, but it's making that decision. You know, there's no manual on localization. And so you kind of have to have a sense of that.